Dogecoin holders, I've got a video for you guys. Today I want to be talking about the Dogecoin spot ETF and what that means for Dogecoin's price. We've been in quite a sell-off, somewhat of a slump, if you will, in the crypto space, really due to all this volatile tariff news, but we're going to be talking about Dogecoin. So without further ado, welcome back to the Crypto Report. I'm Blacksea. Hit that like button, hit that bell. What else are you supposed to do? Subscribe to the channel. Let's hop in this video. All right, guys. So we're starting off here, and 21 shares joins race to launch spot Dogecoin ETF in the U.S. Okay, guys. Zurich-based asset, man, this website has a lot of ads. Zurich-based asset manager, 21 shares, has joined the race to introduce a spot-based exchange trade ETF tied to Dogecoin Doge. It's a big deal, guys. It's a big deal. You know, first we saw Bitcoin, then we saw Ethereum, and now we're seeing XRP potentially get launched. Well, what got filed was XRP, Doge, and Solana. This is a big deal, guys, especially for Dogecoin. I think that you're going to start to see a lot more of these ETFs come to be, especially as we move into a more regulatory-friendly and crypto-friendly SEC. I'm pretty excited to see it play out. I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but I think we're making our way in the right direction. Looking at Doge right now, it looks a little bearish in the short term, but it's the short term, guys. We need to be thinking in the big picture here when we're talking about spot ETFs. A Dogecoin, a meme coin spot ETF. It's pretty crazy to say that out loud, but I'm excited for it, and I'm all for it. Open the free trade. Let's go. I want to see it happen. So looking at Dogecoin right now on the daily time frame, you can see we are testing and rejecting off of this blue line here at about 16.5 cents, about 16.6 cents to be exact, and we're rejecting down from it. You may say, Blacksea, is that okay? Yes, it's okay. My line right here is we could come all the way down to about 14, let's say 0.14271, about 14, 15 cents, and be absolutely fine. You know, a lot of crypto right now is starting to put in a little bit of like a bull trap territory, but I do think that it'll probably be setting us up for a higher low. I think that we could break down, like I said, to 14 cents and bounce off of that and really start to make our way back up to 20 cents. That's kind of where my eyes are for Dogecoin specifically. A lot of other cryptocurrencies are making higher lows here, setting us up for our first glimmer of hope to making a bullish reversal, dare I say, which would take Dogecoin much higher here, guys, which is very exciting. You know, we've been basically beaten up since the end of 2024. We had some positive price action in January, but alts have really been just taking a beating, and I think that has a lot to do with the tariffs. It has a lot to do with the overall market sentiment in the traditional markets. Very uncertain, guys. It's very, very uncertain. You know, really waiting on Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve to come out and start that quantitative easing. The market is begging for it, begging for those rate cuts, guys. And I think that that's going to be happening relatively soon. You know, we're into quarter two now. I think it's not too far away. I think that we're going to see the Fed start to pivot here. You know, starting in April 1st, the Fed cut the quantitative tightening in half by 50%. We were doing $40 billion of monthly sell pressure, and now it's $20 billion. I'm waiting for this next meeting. I will not be surprised at all to see that $20 billion go poof and start to make that risk-on asset environment feel a lot more comfortable for basically all the money on the sidelines. But I will say I do have a little bit of an invalidation here. I won't say invalidation, but we'll talk about that. I think that we can come and test this yellow line. This yellow line is basically the overall bullish trend line. I think it's possible for us to do that and still be intact, still be in bullish structure. We could come down to about 13 cents, and I would say, okay, don't really want to see us break below that, because if we break below 13 cents, now that would be my invalidation. And then I'd be saying, all right, guys, we're probably in a recessionary period, and the traditional market's probably breaking down, and risk-on assets are not in that healthy of a place. And on top of that, you know, we need to be talking about the 4-year cycles, and we'll get into that shortly, but we really need to be seeing the Fed pivot and risk-on assets be in a much more favorable position by like September, October of 2025. Anything past that, we're going to be starting to cut it pretty close for this bull market and really to see Dogecoin make a move further up. But in the short term, guys, I would not be surprised to see a little bit of sell pressure here to the downside to maybe If things get really, really ugly, like I said, at the yellow line, about 12, 13 cents, but we could come down to say 14 cents, and I would say, all right, guys, now keep your eyes open. We want to reclaim 16 cents, 17 cents, and flip that resistance as support. And we're probably going to be off to the races and really start blowing through a lot of these levels around 20 cents and maybe even 25 cents. So in the short term, I'm waiting to see this play out, but I am getting ready to enter some long positions on a lot of these coins. A lot of these coins are postured to the upside right now, but I'm going to be cautious, patient, not going to be doing any degenerate gambling, okay? We're going to be taking our time, waiting for the right levels before we enter these trades, but I've got my eyes on some long positions. If you guys do want to take advantage of volatility, check out the description box below or pin comment down below. We have a $5,000 sign-in bonus to Blowfin. All you do is click that link, deposit, trade a little bit. You get a bunch of free money, guys. Take advantage of these affiliate links, guys. Get some free money. So looking at Doge right now, we are sitting at rank 9. We were at rank 8 the other day. So Tron has flipped us. It was pretty incredible to see that. Sitting at, guys, about 15 cents. It's not that bad based on the overall market. We've come down pretty significantly. We're up 7.77% in the past 7 days, down about 3% in the past 24 hours. Nothing really to write home about here in the short term. But guys, you need to be paying attention to where Bitcoin's at right now. Bitcoin dominance at 63%, excluding stablecoins, 65%. That's a big deal. We're just going to keep rallying higher. Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to rally as long as the Fed doesn't cut rates or pivot to quantitative easing. And guys, and really also until the traditional market pivots as well, but you're not going to see the traditional market catch a bid until the Fed pivots and this tariff talk goes away, which could probably be for another 90 days. We might be hearing about tariffs for another year or two. It's possible. I don't want to be a big bear, but I'm just telling you about the different scenarios here because that definitely could be playing out. I think that the market will start to digest these tariffs, and eventually talking about tariffs is not going to nuke the market anymore. Eventually, the market's going to get desensitized to it, and I think that we're already seeing that slowly start to play out now. But looking at Bitcoin, why am I bullish on Doge right now? Why am I getting ready to long? Well, we're starting to close above $84,200, okay? Really, our target would be about $83,500, $83,600. Any daily candle closures above that sets us up for potentially making a way to test 88,000. Guys, that is the glimmer of hope, okay, that I'm talking about. If we start to close above 88K, you know, I would expect probably to test 88K, reject down to probably like 84, 85 again, and then go through it and make our way to 94,000, especially if we're on the right time horizon for a new all-time high by October. Like I said, September, October, November, really need to be seeing the Fed pivot, really need to see the market start to catch a bid by like early September into Q3 maybe even for me to say, okay, we're still on schedule here. But if not, that's for another video. We'll talk about that when we get there. But guys, right now, we are getting our first glimmer of hope. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think Dogecoin is ready to go to 20 cents, or do we have more pain to come? I'm really curious what you have to say about that because right now this market is slowly starting to change. It looks like we're kind of bottoming out here, but we're not bottomed out until the fat lady sings. We could easily make a new lower low, but as of right now, I'm cautiously optimistic. I do want to say, guys, if you stuck around this far, please go follow me, 333blackc on Twitter, as well as I'm doing a little bit of a giveaway on Snapchat. I just created a Snapchat so I can be posting more and talking back and forth with you guys a little bit easier. It's a lot more fun to do. Please go follow me. It's at blackc.333 on Snapchat. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway, so if you follow me, maybe you'll win $300. That's all I got, guys. If you like this type of content, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.